Hello, my peeps. Oops, just spilled tea on my desk. Um, sorry, I was waiting to see what was going on there. So, happy Thursday, everyone. It is, what is it? 27th of June. New day. I don't think this Tuesday, Thursday thing's actually going to work. So, I'm going to put a little thought into revising that. Did I mention it's Tracey, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and the paper pusher, coming to you live from a beautiful downtown Mornville. It's supposed to be raining all day today. It's gonna rain, I think, but no, I don't know. The weather's weird. It is still beautiful downtown Mornville. Um, oh, sorry. So it has been 3 weeks for my son and just over 2 weeks for me with this stupid flu. And just when you think you're getting better, it seems to come back with the coughing. So I'm a little late starting today, partially because I had to make sure I got tea because I was going to have another coughing fit. I was up half the night coughing last night. Coughed a whole bunch this morning. Had a meeting where I did pretty good. Thought, hey, I didn't cough through that. This is good. I should be able to do my live. As soon as I hung up, cough for a whole bunch afterwards. Getting ready to go now, and all I feel like is I want to cough. My son, like I said, it's been like 3 weeks, and he had pretty much stopped coughing. Woke up this morning, he was coughing and sneezing. So I was waiting for that to do. And then between Tuesday and today, Zoom has changed their stuff. Instead of just opening up as Zoom, it now says Zoom Workplace. And some of the icons are slightly different and things look a little bit different. And I had one more step to figure out where the live stream was from where it normally is. The ever-changing technology. And then more importantly, I just, as I was doing this, I'm like, oh, what about? And at the last minute, thought of something and then was also cutting more paper. So today is meant to be just a short, here's a quick catch up. I'll give you hit the highlights for you. But I just did that on Tuesday, and I feel like other than telling you registration is quickly going to fill up or come to a close for Christmas extravaganza. So if you're coming, let me know by like Tuesday at noon, because that's when the big orders going in, and after that, case by case basis whether we're doing anything. So really, that's it. So instead today I'm just going to show you, I said it was like a technique. It's not really a technique, it's a tip, I guess, but it's also just a really good idea. But I'm also going to, it's not really a tip because I'm also going to show you how to do something. So I don't know what today is, but I was very excited about this set. And when you just look at the set, you're just like, okay, some good sentiments, yes. And a couple little cool like background stamps. Okay. Yeah, but it also comes with dies. So I was very excited because I wanted this, but I didn't have a specific need. Like I didn't need this for a specific project. I was just like, oh my God, I can't wait to play. And I love rosettes. And yes, you can make them by hand, but they're so much better with the die because then you get nicer edges on them. You'll see in a minute what I mean. But bundles are on sale right now, right? They're 10% off, an extra 10% off. So basically this was 20% off plus my demo discount. So I waited till this went on sale and then bought it just because I wanted to play with it. And I haven't even made anything with it yet. I've just been playing. But I want to show you what I do when I get a new stamp set or a bundle and why it's a really good idea with this one in particular. So yeah, I've been using a few stamps. Now, normally when I would do this, I would stamp all of the images to see what dies cut out what images. These dies don't specifically cut out these images. And from what I can tell, with the exception of the really long ones, like all of these little stamps would fit inside. They don't specifically fit inside the circle. That's not really how they're meant. But you could. The only ones that specifically like cut something out is you can stamp this circle and cut this circle out. So to me, this was more of a here's a cool stamp set. Here's a cool set of dies, and I'll just show you the one place where that is different. But here's what I do when I get a new set of dies. I look at them, for the beginning, but then I cut one of everything. And I usually just use whatever colors on the desk. You'll see I have quite the assortment of colors when we get going. Just to see how they cut out. And then once I start playing, if I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff with this, I might make I showed you an actual fancy board, but sometimes I'll just cut all the stuff out and then just sort of keep it with the set. But like I'll take a piece of white and I'll take every one of them in the same color and I'll put them all out. And I was most curious about these two. When you look, I'm trying to see if I can get them to focus. When you look at dies, you can tell, like these all have raised ridges, right? Which means they cut. This one, the only raised ridges are the circles. Actually, this one's the same. There's nothing on the edge. So I was pretty sure that this was not going to cut this shape out. I will admit, super excited about these because I love the starburst shape. And we used to have a set of starburst dies, but they retired. And like this little scalloped one. So I partially got it just for these two circles. I'll admit that. This one I could tell was going to be an embossed folder. I wanted to see how that looked. So here's what you do. You take all of the dies. I've glued some of my pieces together now. And you cut all the pieces out. So this is what the rosette die looks like. That's what this does. I've already folded one of them up a little bit. As I mentioned, these two dies, they don't actually cut like actual. I didn't get around to it to look and see what other circle dies we have. There are probably circle dies that will fit around this that you could do, but it also works to, like if I'm making a white card front, I could just put like a green layer behind it. I don't know if that's going to show on camera, but in person you can actually see, and it will just, the color will come through behind. So, but I know that that's what that does. These two sizes, these are the two cutouts for that I was excited about, like the starburst and the scallop circle. They don't make outlines of either one of these, right? Like they're not the right size for that. They're just cool shapes. These are the two bigger ones. And then this is, I can't get it. I was trying to do it if I did it the right way. Could I get it to focus? So this one actually cuts a circle out, but it also makes that cool starburst pattern in the middle. I gotta mix and match sizes here. And then the two smaller ones make those two circles. And then you have these two, which I think are possibly meant to go on these. I mean, you can do whatever you want with them, right? This one is rounded, this one is pointed. The rounded one is closer in size to the one that's pointed. You could do either way. This one is a little bit bigger, so this one does fit in here. This one is very small if you're putting it in the middle of this. I don't know that they're meant to, but like it's nice to just sort of move around and play. The one thing I did find, here I'm going to use these two because they're totally different colors. So they're not, so yeah, the pointed one is bigger than the circle one. So if you want to overlay these two, with anything, it was the same thing when we had the daisy punch. You should be able to just offset it by one, but they don't always exactly line up. So sometimes, and these ones, because they're so delicate, I guess, you do a little bit of fussing sometimes, just kind of move them around a little bit, and they will eventually go in together. But so these are the difference in sizes, and that's what happens when you mix like two different colors of the two dies. But then you can also take the dies, and these are the same dies done in two different colors, and I just put them together, and you make these like really cool. Can't make it focus. Come on, it's not working. My hand's not covering enough of my desk. I got so many things in the background. Okay, here I'm going to put both these on. So if I actually do get it to work, I can just do it in one shot. There we go. So, and the funny thing is I put them, so I put the dark on top, one I put the light on top. You can see just by what's in the center. I wanted to see how they went together, but as it turned out, if you just do a little bit, like I said, just kind of push the things a little bit, these actually like embedded into each other. They're not even on top of each other. So they make these cool, like little double things. So that was a fun thing to learn. I'd find out as I went. And then these are the two shapes that I cut out. And then the two stamps that were in the stamp set that are not currently in the stamp set because they're still on the block sturdy. Those two stamps. So then I went, and so those two stamps are bigger than the die cuts. As you can see, they're bigger. I got tone on tone. Just trust me, they're bigger. Because here we'll do it this way. So you can see how these don't quite, let's put them on the right way. That's the rounded one on the rounded one, and the pointy one on the pointy one. So this is the pointy one, it goes right to the edge. And this is the round one. I got slightly off. So these ones you can stamp onto these and they fill much more than this. So with, these aren't really gonna, I'm not gonna be able to see the colors, but well, you can layer them up again, I guess. But you could mix and match and have all sorts of different layered things by using all these different pieces. But just to let you know, that's what the two stamps look like. So this is what I find is good, right? Like these, like I said, I got random colors going everywhere. This is one of my favorite color combinations. Either lemon lime twist or granny apple green, whichever. Shaded spruce and white. Love this combination together. So I had a couple pieces, or I did start doing that. But then I wanted to see differences, so I pulled them out and got all these different things on the go. So it's a good idea though to pull all your pieces out and just randomly cut a whole bunch of stuff. I have a couple things to do today and tomorrow, but I will have these finished by the weekend. So I will actually make a few projects and I will show you what they are. But right now I'm just in the let's see what this thing can do stage. But there's a couple things I'm going to show you just in case you did the same thing. And again, this set is on sale right now, so now's the perfect time to get it. All my little bits and pieces out of the way. But yeah, just a couple things. And I knew this from before. So you can hand make a rosette. You can take a piece of paper. Sorry, I'm trying to move my stuff out of the way and everything wants to fall back on top of me. You can take a piece of paper and like score it, like just cut a strip, score it every quarter inch, every half inch, every whatever. The longer your piece of paper, the bigger your rosette. But you're going to have straight edges. So yeah, like I said, the die makes it nice and fancy because one inch makes it pointy and one end makes it scallop. Now you can do that. This is so much easier. And so when I saw this, I'm like, oh, perfect. I can make a rosette. Well, if you just cut one of these strips, and this is where there's a little bit of trial and error, this is what you get, right? And then you fold them. You know, you're going to put adhesive. This is a tab. You're going to put adhesive on it. So if you start on that end, and then you mountain, valley, right? And fold it all up. Then you get your piece, right? And then your pieces go around, depending whether you want the pointy end out or the scallop end out, and you get the start of your rosette. But as you'll notice, if you only do one of them, you only get half a rosette. You actually need to do two. So that's like, oh, okay. I'm not sure why I thought one was going to be big enough. I never really, I guess, put much thought into it. Having made them before, usually you would go like the 11-inch size of DSP or of cardstock, or like a 12-inch strip of DSP, just so you could have it all in one piece. So that's fine. This just means that you're going to take two of them and glue them together, right? So I have somewhere, there's one connection. And then so about here is the other connection. So now I've taken two pieces, cut two of them, did the same fold, glued them on the tabs. And this is the part that I think is so much fun about rosettes. So you do it, this is the easiest way to do it. So I put my two pieces together and they were all like bunched up. But now what I do is I want to take all my tops together and then you push. And that's how you get it to lay flat. So now I have my rosette. And this one I was playing and got a little bit abused. So my little gluing is not the perfect. I have this on the table. I'm not picking this up for a reason, because the second I let go of it, it does this. Doesn't this look like a cake, or like the bottom of a cupcake though? I think if you wanted to, you could cut this out, and we're about to find out because I'll show you something in a second. But you could make like little cupcake wraps where you just do these two, and then you can kind of just like squish them a little bit so the bottom's a bit tighter, give your shape. And you can actually set your cupcakes in. And if you made these out of like themed colors, DSP, you have an Oilers party, because win or lose, they did awesome. You could put like white, orange, and blue and make a whole bunch of these. And then your cupcakes would just kind of sit in them and it would be just like a little extra. Anyways, to me, they're the exact shape of a cupcake. If you were making, one of the things that I just thought of this, one of the things that's a shower gift, that's a great shower gift, is you can use like baby shower. You can use diapers or face cloths or little adorable pairs of baby socks. Or baby socks, not the cutest things ever. And you try to make them into like cakes and cupcakes and different things. So you give them like practical stuff, but you make it look like a cake. You could easily do that. Roll up little cloths or whatever, and put these around them. And then the part that sticks out, the fabric part, and this would be the little wrap that would make it look like little cupcakes. And you could have like a little tray of cupcakes, which in actuality are useful baby things. Anywho, too many ideas. This is why the hey, let's just see what this can do phase is so much fun. Okay, so I've decided. So I think I did the first one. Oops, popping it right out. Was the first one I had the pointy end out, I think, and this is the scalloped end out. It just gives you like a slightly different look. Now, you can't let go of this thing, right? So I find the easiest thing to do is now put something on. I should have got a banner here. Like I got one of my, there's always something on my desk. What does this say? Oh, this was part of my hug card. It says, so it's there when you need it. So if you were going to put a banner in the middle of this, I would pick one slightly bigger, than like wider than this. I could use the banner, and I could use the banner to hold it down, right? Or you can use a circle. Now, in this case, you could use this fancy little one with a little starburst in it. If you wanted to make this look like a flower, you could, I don't know, put this color in or something. You want to make sure the circle is a bit bigger than this. Like this little tiny one here is not big enough, in my opinion, to do this. Like it just barely covers. You're not going to get enough of a grip on it. If you want this to look like you want this clean edge and you want to put just like a little flag and you don't want anything too big on here, then put the circle on the back side. But what you're going to want to do, and you could make the circle out of just like anything really. I'm trying to think if I have another circle somewhere, but I don't. So I'm going to use this one. So here, I'm going to let go of this because it's going to go flying up again. Actually, I'm going to use the yellow one just so you can see it. This is all just playtime, right? So I'm not actually using it. So one of the few times where I do think liquid glue is like the bomb would be this one. So I'm putting a fair bit of liquid glue on the edge. I'm not putting a ton right in the center because there's a bit of a divot in the center when all these pieces go together. See if I can get it to, seriously, it's the springiest thing. Okay, so you see this, you see there's like that kind of a divot. So putting a ton of glue in there is not really going to help me a ton. So mostly you want to put it on the outside. And then get your dude all in place and kind of held down as best you can. And then pop your circle with all your glue on it. This is where I told you before, the tweezers that come with the heat embossing kit are not just for heat embossing. Okay. I mean, you know what? I could just let go of this thing, but oh no, I'm going to keep holding it. Okay. So I got my gluey little thing. So I'm going to put this down. So right now I'm just going to roughly drop it on top because then I'm going to use I'm going to push in on the sides and hold this. Now, once I got it down, I'm just going to hold this for a minute. You got to give it at least enough time to stick. The other good thing you can do is once you get it going, like hold it long enough, take one of your blocks and then pop it on top and let it do that while it dries. So once this is done, and I don't know if this probably hasn't dried long enough, but we'll see. No, because I can feel it springing back up. It did that because it was still wet. But if I can do that, because see what I'm doing now since I've knocked it off, I've got glue on all of these ridges. And I just need it to dry. And if one block's not enough, put on two. Sorry if I made a big mess. Okay, I'm going to put that off to the side. You'll see it afterwards. But you want to do something to hold it together. I have found, personally, my favorite adhesive, tear and tape, that it's not the best for this. You can do it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it on one of these other ones just to see. I don't have the right color, but that's fine. Again, random colors that I picked up off my desk. But we're going to see how it goes. But I want to show you some ideas. So I didn't get as far as putting this together because I thought I got to show you some. And then I had, but I should also show them. And then so I'm going to show you this like 3 times, but we're going to see how easy it is. So like I said, this is the tab side. So I'm folding the tab side under because you know it's going to be on the inside. And then this folds really easy. Up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Mountain, valley, mountain, valley. So, and that's what you're going to need to do with each one of them. So the other things you can do with these, and I imagine you could use your bone folder and you could burnish, but I find that once I do it, I just give it a good, and it's pretty much, I think you could glue this on like this and make it look like a fence. You could trim these tabs off so that it was going the right, like the right direction that you wanted to. But I think even this on a card just kind of makes a cool little like texture behind the greeting or whatever. If you want to cut this in half and put two of them together, you could also just fold it up and then kind of flatten it out a little bit. So you have like corrugated cardboard, a little bit of texture, but not like super high because you don't want to make your card so thick that it doesn't go through the mailing machine. Mailing machine is not the word I want, but I can't remember what the thing is called now. The verifier, the something, the canceller, I don't know, the thing that has to go through anyways. Okay, so we're going to do that. Do it. I have glue on my fingers from picking up that piece that wasn't quite dry. You could use, like when you put these together, you can also use white glue to hold these together. Same thing though, you got to give it time to dry. I don't have that kind of patience. Who am I kidding? And for the purpose of what I wanted to show you, I don't need them flat. I just need to be able to get them together enough to show you something. So, okay, so I did that one. See how quickly that went? So I'm just going to use tear and tape. Again, my fave. So I'm going to put tear and tape on all of the tabs and do better than I did. You want it to cover the whole tab, right? Make it a little longer if you have to. And just kind of like fold it over, but you want to put it all on the tab side. That one went quite a bit longer. Okay. So I showed you this one. Let's see, does it look like it's here? We'll do this. It's actually stuck to the block. So there, I put the circle on the back. So if you wanted to, you could have the front with nothing on it, or you could have with the circle and just adhere it down. A couple dimensionals, away you go. We're gonna do that first. Rascal, that was just me. It was just me and the block. Yesterday was garbage day. He's still a little bit wound up for all the people, all those trucks that kept coming up and down his street. Rascal, dude, we're live. Yeah, I know. Good job guarding the yard. Nobody is out there. It was me. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this over a little because it's a little bit big. Okay, so I put adhesive on all of the tabs, and because that's how I roll, I'm pulling all the protective covering off of all of the tabs at once. Okay, these, like I said, I randomly picked colors. So I'm going to put these together now to make more than one. So make sure when you're doing this, you have this is the scalloped end, this is the pointy end. Make sure you're doing it the same way. When I went to do it the first time, I just about mix and matched it. Now, I guess if you wanted to mix and match, you can. But if you're not intentionally trying to do that, just make sure that you got the scalloped end up and the scalloped end up. And then this tab goes on the back side of this one. And I'm going to line it up so that, and close it. There we go. And then I'm going to go to the next one. And scallop, yep. And I'm going to put it like this. And what I'm doing, I'm actually going at the point, like right where the point meets. And I find if I get that corner right, then the rest all just kind of goes together at the right place. I'm going to put that one. And then I'm going to loop it around. I'm going to put this one. Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to work. The next one I want to show you, I haven't actually tried. So there we go. I've got everything glued together like I wanted to. Just make sure I got those pressed well. So again, this is what I said is the fun part. You put it in and you squish all the tops in together and all the bottoms go out. The dog is like wound up today. There's nothing out there, and I didn't make noise that time. Rascal. And then you push it flat. Now in this case, because it is a little bit bigger, it's not pushing as flat as I want. So I'm going to pull it from the outside. Okay, so I can put 3 colors together if I want. Now when I do 3 colors, I can squish all the way in. There's a lot more tension on this right now, but I can. And once you've flattened it once, it flattens much easier again the next time. Okay, so I can do this. I think I have like just a slightly bigger circle there. Because I'm just showing you this for the purpose of colors and size, I'm just going to do this. This is my cheater method. Put this together. And we're just going to put, this is why it's not as effective. I'm going to have to put a much bigger circle, but this is what I did the first time when I was making a rosette. I just put like tear and tape like this. And to get my, right, and then put the circle over top of it. Is that the most efficient way to do it? No. And you see this thing just keeps wanting to flip back up again. But, so this is pretty much the same size rosette. I got to hold them over top, you can see. But the difference is, much too hard to hold. I should have come up with I should have had a bunch of these prepped so you could see. I wanted to show you how they went together though. And this is the fun of working with rosettes, is they are the poppiest flipping things. So the difference between 3 colors and just like 2 strips of the same, this could be 3 strips of the same color. I just used 2 different ones or 3 different ones. Is these are like, this is like a flatter fold, and these ones are much like sharper folds because you're cramming more stuff in, right? So I had done this before with something else, and then I thought to myself, I wonder if you can do 4. And for whatever reason, because I'm sure there's more than one option, just I'm going to put these down and see if I can get them to not be flopping all over my desk. When I thought of 4 colors, the first thing that popped into my head that was 4 colors, I think it goes this way, was the medicine wheel. So I thought, well, hey, let's live on the edge and see if we can do 4 colors. I think at some point you're going to get a bigger hole in the middle. This is my theory. I don't actually know. We're just playing today, so but I figure you learn from like watching somebody else, especially if I screw it up, then you can save yourself the paper and just do it I screwed up. Okay, I'm going to see if I can fold and drink tea at the same time. Can she do it or not? I'm using my chest for something. There we go. The answer is, since I spit tea down the answer is no. The answer is you need 2 hands to fold. Because I'm folding and holding, because seriously, springiest things, like this is, you get your workout doing this. But they're just, rosettes are just so cute. I just love them. Okay. I think the one thing I forgot to show you, I gotta get the right color. Okay, so there's this one. I should just call this playtime, and we'll just do something like this where maybe we finish something, maybe we don't, maybe we just play. I had the thought of doing like a technique one. This is, like I said, I don't know if I would say this was a technique. This is more just a, hey, you know how these things work, and here's some things to try. Technique to me more was like, here's how you color, here's how you heat emboss, here's how you. So I don't know what I would call it, but tidbits, Tracey's tidbits. And just do something where it's not necessarily a specific project, just something that will help you make projects. So I haven't quite figured that out yet. I haven't also settled on which 2 days of the week work best. You guys are all very accommodating, and whatever works for you. But now I just got to figure out whatever works for me. I'm trying to work it around Stampin' Up stuff. Like Tuesday's a good day. Tuesday might be the better day to do the short update one, because that one would be, because that's when we get our information from Stampin' Up is on Tuesdays, right? We get our demos, we get an update every Tuesday. Now sometimes there is no updates, or like nothing, you know, earth shattering or anything. And sometimes there's more. But Tuesday's the day that stuff usually comes out. Lots of times Tuesday is the day that things start, or things that the order goes in, or like Tuesday just seems to be the day. So maybe that's what it needs to be. Maybe Tuesday needs to be the shorter one, the shorter live with just updates. And if there's no real good updates, then we just do some fun little thing like this for half an hour. And then maybe I switch and make Thursday nights the bigger live. I try to avoid things on Mondays because Mondays always seem to be a bit more of a busy day for just getting everything going after the weekend. First day of school. Like, I mean, yes, it's summer holidays now, and I'm very happy about that. But 10 months of the year, for at least another couple of years, it's school. My son just finished grade 10, so we have grade 11 and 12 to get through. Yeah, teenagers, not for the faint-hearted. So yeah, and Fridays it just seems that, sorry, I'm trying to remember my order. I just cheated and looked it up because I think that's what I wanted. So again, oh, see, I just looked at it again. I just will put the circle in backwards. Yeah, Fridays are like, even tomorrow I have something else going on. Friday seems to be the day that plans get made, and I was always having to like change or alter or try to figure out if I could like cram it in, and then I feel rushed. I feel like I'm not doing it justice. So yeah, if you have any suggestions on kind of stuff you want to see, or what day of the week, or what time works best, and I mean, I do this full time now, and I know some jobs you can watch things while you're working, and some people you can't. And sometimes if you get home at night, you don't want to do it. And some people only watch the replays and they watch them very late at night. So it is really hard to figure out there's no one best time. So it's more just whoever answers basically gets to have a vote. Ooh, look at how long this thing is. Okay, so I've done the same thing. I've done all my tabs have been taped. Got all my 4 colors. I'm just lining up. There we go. To get that. Now this one, because it's so much bigger, it is not fighting me as hard to like fold flat. The question is, if I do 4 colors, how close? Oh my goodness, I'm actually surprised. I can make this almost as small. Oh, I'm super impressed. Okay, so I wasn't expecting that. I've also, by the way, seen medicine wheels where they go like this and medicine wheels that go like this. So I'm not actually sure what the answer is. And I believe, you know, depending on the community, maybe they have their own little like adjustments that they make or whichever. I think for the most part, this is the order, but I wouldn't even swear to that. But yeah, I thought, what has 4 colors? What's round with 4 colors? Boom, medicine wheel. So here's the thing. I could get this quite close. I think it is a little bit bigger than the other one. But the cool thing is, depending how big you need your rosette to be, well, look at me go, tempting fate. This is, I want to say, see, I gotta, why do things the hard way? Because this is about the same size. So this rosette is not quite 3 1/4, a little over 3 inches, 3 1/4 inches is how big this circle is. Look at how mangled this one is from me pulling it apart at one point. But see, now that the glue's dried more, it's fairly flat. Because you could use these on cards, you could use these on banners, you can use them on 3D items. So yeah, this is probably as big as you want it. If this is not the right size card front here, let's give ourselves a fighting chance of getting it right. So this is a card. This is the first layer card front. So this is just slightly smaller than an actual card. This would be a card front. So yeah, this is a good size, right? We don't want really any bigger on our cards. Could you do, let's move this off to the side for a second. I've glued all of them together. Yeah, I'm going to quickly do this one. This is the last thing I was going to show you because I was like, I wonder. When I folded mine, oh yeah, when I folded the first one, there's a couple places where it looked like it didn't break the cardstock, but um, it came close. And so I thought, I wonder if I can use this for DSP. And you can use it for DSP. I don't think you can see there, but I can see that there's places here where it's like cutting the paper, the die. So I think the trick to that is how you make your sandwich. Like I think you can make a sandwich that is it's not quite as tight. If not, and that's usually like you can take out the little one shim and put a slightly smaller, thinner shim in it, and it will make it so you don't have quite as much pressure, but I think it would still cut. But yeah, you can make it out of DSP, which would give you different images. What I was going to show you was if you wanted to, you could do like a half rosette. You could do a corner rosette just by whatever you put on the background. Like instead of making a full circle, just make like a quarter circle and stick it to the background and make your rosette like half. Right, this is just one piece. I don't think you're going to get in two rosettes on one card, but you could have like a little one in the corner and this one, and you could fold this, like flatten it down to make like a half, like a fan. So I think you could do some stuff, but yeah, this is a pretty good size if you're using it on a card. Except if you wanted, I mean, you could make, oh God, you know how cute it would be at the end of the year if you're passing out like awards to people and you did this and you just put like little, I don't think I have anything that quite equates to what I'm talking about, but put like a little flagged piece underneath it, like a piece of cardstock that's a little flagged piece, and make like little medals. It's so cute. Okay, anyways, that's how big it is. So my thought was, though, if you needed a bigger rosette, depending what you were doing with the center, I've seen lots of times with medicine wheels, I've seen like feathers in the middle. I did see one that had another circle. I can't remember. These were like the four elements, or it's emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental health, I think are the four. And there was a fifth one on some of them. I want to say it's green. I don't know why I think it's green, but for some reason I think I've seen a green circle. So if you, and no offense to anybody if I've just totally like done something with this extra color. If you needed to make a bigger rosette, you could make the rosette bigger, and instead of squishing everything in together as tight as you possibly can in the middle, leave it a little bit wider and just put your bigger circle on it. Now, if this was the front side, and depending what you were doing, if this was actually worked to have like that big of a circle, then perfect. There's your answer. You could also do it where you put this circle on. Here, do it this way. Flip this guy over, and you could have like a word or something. This could be like a frame, right, with something written in there. So I think I'm gonna venture to say 4 is the most you can do. I think if you, I don't know, somebody try 5 and tell me if it works. I think if you do 5, well, I guess it depends if you're making, oh, I guess if you did like 5 or something, because if without pushing anything, just making this flat, this is how big this is, and that's how big the circle in the middle is. And if I could keep it from popping up, it would actually just lay like that. Let's see, this one is about 5 inches. So I guess if you wanted to, I mean, you could make 4, 5, 6 of them, and you would just have like a much bigger circle with, oh, you could do scrapbooking. Oh, I bet you could. You could do this, like you could have like, you know, red, white, green, red, white, green, and have as many as you wanted, and make a really big circle and put your scrapbook picture in the middle. Oh, see, this is the thing. This is why sometimes I don't get anything done, because as I do things, I'm like, oh, but what if? Oh, but what if? Oh, but what if? So, anyways, yeah. 4 works. Like I said, you could just put it like this. I don't know if this has to close in the middle, but you could put it like this and like put words in the middle, right? Anyways, I think there is fun to be had with these, making them into rosettes. Like I said, using them just as like textured background behind a sentiment. Where'd my sentiment go? Where'd my card front? Here's my card front. Like I said, I will do, I don't know if I'll get it to the scrapbook page. I might. See, I just have all these random colors here. I think you could almost, because this is kind of wintry paper, I think you could almost make this look like a snowflake if you did it. Snowflakes are like six-sided, but I think there's got to be a way. But if not, this to me kind of looks like a sun. But anyways, yeah, you could use it just as like a little bit of texture behind your sentiment, where you could just like, this is just one cut, and then if you just sort of flatten it, like fold it and then flatten and then trim it off. In this case, I'd be trimming off like a couple of the folds. But look at how cute that is for just a little bit of texture. My original idea, because I didn't really have like a specific purpose, but my original thought was you could make a card, and my original, like the first card I'm going to make will be the kind of the idea that I had, and because these are all just things I'll show you what I mean. My thought would be I'm going to like cut a circle out there, and I'm going to cut this, and then I might just stamp this without actually, like without putting the color behind it. It might just be the stamp. You could stamp this in like dark green. Oh, I will just show you what I mean. And then I promise I'll stop because I have no idea even how long I'm going to go in at this point. Oh, I'm way over my half hour. Okay, so here's an idea. These are photopolymer stamps, and they are fairly like solid images, and you want a really good imprint. So you want your foam. So I'm going to put my foam, and I'm going to put my gungy little scrap paper I have here. I'm going to put my cardstock over top of it this time. There we go. But with these stamps, the other thing you can do is get a nice good coverage, stamp down, have my lovely coverage, and then turn your stamp, I don't know, 1/4 inch, and stamp again. Oh, that turned out so much better than I was expecting. Look at that, I lined it up so well. I normally I would put my head like right over top of it, but I don't do that when I'm on camera. But look at that. So this is like just, it's stamping off, right? You get the darker color, the lighter color, but look at how cool that looks. And then what did I do with my actual, oh, there it is. So what did I do with the actual stamp set? And then because it's easier to cut first, and then I could do this, I could cut this out too. That worked out. So you could do it with like just one stamp, give it a little twist, stamp again. And because it's photopolymer, it's very easy to see. Or you could stamp 2 different colors. You can stamp, like I said, I like the way this looks with the pointy one is a little bit bigger than the rounded end starburst, and just squish them together like this. Well, you could replicate the same thing with ink. They would just be a little bit bigger with the ink, but you could do that, right? So that was my thought. My first idea for a card, like I said, was, here, we'll use this one instead then. Maybe stamp one image down, put one of these down, put one of these down. I can't use that one because it's not totally blue. Maybe put one of these on. I kind of saw the starburst as being more for like 3Ds and banners and stuff. So I'm not sure that that's necessarily what I would put there, but oh, love the way this turned out though. But anyways, just to make a card like that and put a sentiment on it. This, I think I mentioned, I can't remember now. There's lots of good sentiments in here. Happy birthday, happiest birthday to you, hip hip hooray, time to celebrate. And you could put time to celebrate, and you could type just the U, or stamp just the U, time to celebrate you. This is your day, this is your year, this is your month. Like there's lots of things you can do. Put some of these little like star splotches around. I think you could build good collage type cards with, and there's just so many different birthday or celebratory, I think I said that right, stamps you could use. I think these look to me like you could make them look like flowers if you wanted to. You can make them look like starbursts. You can make them look like the sun. But yeah, just collage it up. I did want to use these for a 3D treat idea that I had, and I wanted to use them for a banner Sorry, knock that down. As I'm looking at this, you know how I said they would make like good for a cupcake? Look at how jumbo cupcake this would be. Like, this is a cupcake. But there's got to be ideas for it. So I would love to see what you come up with. And again, the whole point of today started out to be, here's my suggestion for you. When you get a new bundle, cut one of all the dies or cut a couple of them, just use whatever paper's on the desk and start playing to see what they do. And then this is what happens. But as I play, I get ideas. So I think it's the best way to do it when you get a new bundle. So there you go. If you're coming to Extravaganza, register. I'm going to keep saying that because it's going to sink in. Let me know if you guys have the stamp set and if you've played with any other fun stuff. Stay tuned for the weekend when I actually show you some finished ideas of the things that I had in my head. And oh my goodness, I so love how these turned out. Now I just have to figure out what I'm doing with it. Yeah, it was lots of fun. I think you should play. I'm going to put all these like this because now I got all sorts of things. If you haven't played with your dies, do this, because the more you play, I think the more you get ideas and the more fun it is. And look at this. It was so much fun this morning. I made a huge mess of my desk. Yes, you can use DSP. And you just got to be a little more delicate with it. There you go. Happy playing. Happy Canada Day, everyone. Have a good weekend. If you're traveling, travel safe. And I will be back on Tuesday at some point. I'll put a reminder somewhere on Tuesday what I'm doing. I'm staying up till midnight on Tuesday, so I got to plan my day carefully because I will be up late. I'm staying up past my bedtime to order for Extravaganza and to order for anybody else who wants to get in on things. Like I said, I think the glass mat's going to sell out, so anybody who wants one of those, let me know. Got to get all those things done. So I will be back on Tuesday for sure, doing something. And in the meantime, though, I will finish these up and post some pictures on the weekend. And if you have any questions, you need help with anything, you want to get in on the last few days of the sale, like I said, this stamp set, I don't actually know what the original price is, but let's pretend I do. Let's pretend that, you know, the dies are 40 and the stamp set is 32. I think that's easy math. That adds up to 72. Normally you buy a bundle, 72, you get 10% off. That's 720. Right now, if you buy this bundle, instead of getting 10% off, you get 20% off. So what did I say, 72? So that is 1440 you would get off. So, but that's only till Sunday. It's also off on the machines. It's a great time to get any of those. Need help with any of that stuff, you let me know. You start playing and you get some pictures. I'd like to see them. I want ideas, people. I want to see what everybody does with their stuff. All right. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good time. I'll start.